Hey everyone, John Runner 88 here with another Star Wars figure review, and this time it is ARC Trooper Jesse. This is another great ARC Trooper figure. I'm sure everybody watching are avid Star Wars figure collectors, and this is probably one of your favorites as well. It's just, they're decked out, they're dressed to the nines, right? Um, it's just, it's just my biggest issue is like it would have been nice to have soft goods for the commas just to so we wouldn't restrict that leg articulation. Also, knee pads being on like the upper part of the leg rather than at the like top of the shin. That's frustrating. Um, but other than that, those are like my only issues with these figures. The helmets, they slip on relatively easily. Um, so I haven't had any issues with these in particular with like um, the decos rubbing off. But I did have you can watch my is it my Umbra operative ARC Trooper video. That helmet was so tight it immediately like scraped off the eyebrows and everything. It was so frustrating. Thankfully, all the other figures I've gotten have had pretty easy to slip on helmets. Um, yeah, and especially with Jesse, he's got that gorgeous bald head of his. Um, and another thing I was worried about with him was that tattoo being like misaligned, and it's like a little into like the side of his eye, but um, that just means he's that tough. He can get a tattoo that close to his eye. He didn't even cry that much. It was impressive. But no, it's definitely the eyes, like the angle of the eyes, is always like my biggest issue with um, biggest concern with getting like these figures is are they going to be like aligned properly? And he might be looking to the side a little bit, but both the eyes are doing the same thing, so it's not that bad. Um, his deco is a little lopsided. I've seen that on a lot of the examples online that I've seen from people. Like that stripe should obviously be like down the middle, but it's like off to the side a little bit. This is this one's a little like thicker than that one, but it's like it's minor stuff. And I guess the deco on there is like the blue is kind of it's a little more white on one side than the other, but that's like minor stuff that you're not really gonna pick up on. I know the rangefinder is inaccurate from the show, but hey, he's got two helmets. He's got one with a rangefinder, one without one. Um, his visor is painted nice and straight, which is nice. Lines up pretty well with the because there is like an imprint of the visor into like the helmet sculpt. It lines up pretty good. Cannot be said for Fives. His is very makes him look a little sad. Come on, you gonna focus now? Yes, no, maybe so. Um, so his is a little droopy. Definitely need to touch that up at some point. Um, and I think Echo was slightly droopy, but Jesse is definitely looking good all the way across. There's a few things I might like touch up on him. I think I might paint that because it's usually like this. It's usually like gray on most helmets, and I know like the Hot Toys version, I think it's gray. I might do the same for Fives when I touch him up as well. Stop. He's got the. These guys are falling all over the place. But yeah, great looking figure. Bring the card back in for a moment. Um, Again, for some people, this would probably be annoying that it is a like fully animated rendition. When we first started off, we had Fives with a realistic artwork depiction, and it looked really cool. He had his helmet off. Don't know who the clone was underneath his armor, so it definitely wasn't Fives. Go check that video out. It's pretty funny. You'll see what I'm talking about. I lean into it very hard. Um, Echo here, he had it was like an in between like the animated and the realistic, but it was also like an artist like rendition. Um, and then now they're like full animated. It would have been cool to get them like all without their helmets on, looking like in similar poses. That way they'd look good together. And also, people have been annoyed that Jesse's like name pill color is like bright yellow when the other ones were like an orangey yellow, which, you know, a little consistency would go a long way, I feel, but we're all still buying the figure, so Hasbro doesn't care, right? Um, they come with all the weapons. They've got the, carbine blaster, the blaster rifle. The carbine blaster can actually plug into the backpacks, which is a great feature that I'm really happy they included. Because like one of the awesome things about these figures is like you've got the pistols that can go into the holsters on the sides, and then you've got the carbine which can go onto the backpack, and then they can like hold the long blaster, and then you've got like they can hold all the weapons, and I love that. When a figure doesn't have like good weapon storage, like especially for like a small like hand blaster, it's like, come on, like you gotta put it somewhere, or else you just gotta. I've got just like I keep the plastic bubbles for like some of my figures, and I just like put all the accessories in them and just like dig through it when I need them, and that's no fun. I'd like for them to just plug onto their belts or something. Um, but I love that all these guys they've got the consistent uh, paint colorings. Like the blue is all consistent. Um, they look fantastic. The um, detailing on like all the paint apps is great. I love the that they actually did like two different pauldrons. Like there's like these two have them on like the right side, and then that's the left side. The fact that like all the pauldrons are like painted differently. That's another thing on Jesse, is that it's a little messy on the shoulder, but a little black paint will fix it up real quick. Um, yeah, just another fantastic usage of the arc body. Also, I know this isn't, some people, the little clip here isn't as pronounced and doesn't work quite as well, but there is a little clip on the bottom of the pauldron here, and it does clip onto the bottom of the chest armor. Some are better than others, like fives here clips on like really good for me. But it's just like a way to kind of keep it so it doesn't, jiggle around. Because I do know that it was like some people's issue when they first started coming out. It was like, oh, it like jiggles around, which is like it's whatever. I mean, when you have them posed, it's not gonna be. It's not like you pose them and it just like goes like this. That would be frustrating. Yes, I could side with them then, but it does have like a little clip on the bottom usually. Like I think one of mine, like it's not quite as like pronounced and stuff. But I do love these ARC Troopers. I hope we. It'd be cool if the new clone body that they're making is compatible with this. Please, Hasbro. That would be amazing if it was like just the same height. That's all they'd really need to do. Um, and then they could do like they'll definitely have the new style like hip, like a hip articulation. Hasbro, put the knee pads on the top of the shin. I do not. This is not how knee pads work. Their knee pads, like I work in retail. The potato chip vendors with their knee pads, if they worked like this, there would be no reason. Knee pads go under the knee for when you are kneeling to protect your knee so it doesn't get all chewed up and raw from kneeling all the time on it. Um, so fix that, Hasbro. You're doing a whole new clone trooper sculpt, and then let these arms like plug into them, and then it that's that's really the only difference. I mean, I guess the shins are different. Make new shins then. Make new ARC Trooper shins, because we want perfect, awesome clone bodies that can be used till the end of time, Hasbro. Future proofing. You've been doing a pretty good job with it, especially with the Mandalorian figures. But we'll close out today looking at all their pretty little mugs together, because the head sculpts on these ARC Troopers are phenomenal. These are, like, come on. Look how fantastic they look. So good. And with that, these clone boys are going to wave goodbye to you. But just imagine it, because I don't feel like moving all their arms right now. Fives is giving you a little bye, bye. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Did you pick up Jesse here? How are your paint apps? Are they a little lopsided? Or his eyes a little drifty? Who knows? Maybe. But yeah, do all that fun stuff. Follow me over on Instagram, JohnRunner88 as well. I like doing behind the scenes pictures over there and get some fun different angles. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye, guys.